Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hannah. If you're new here, if you want, only if you want, no forcing, please like and subscribe, or like or subscribe. So, yeah, today we'll be reading How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss because, well, there's 10 days until Christmas, of course. So, yeah, let's get right into it. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Every Who down at Whoville likes Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Look at that Grinch. Never mean one, Mr. Grinch. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down at Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. Look at him. He's just looking at Whoville. And they're hanging his stockings, he snarled with a sneak. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew. All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise. Look, that's them, like, opening their presents and making all the noise. Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. Look, this is everybody eating their food. And I guess that these are the people like coming up to like bring the food. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down at Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Look, there's a lot of people singing together. for all the Who's. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. Look at the Grinch. I wonder what he thought of. What do you think he thought of? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat. And he chuckled and chucked. What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he caught his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up on Max. Poor Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" and the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. Look, there's little Max. Look at the Grinch. Let's have a Santa. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When it came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first things to go." Look, so here's the little Who's, and here's the Grinch coming down to get these stockings. Then he slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant, around the room, and he took every present: pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. Then he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney. There's them sleeping. Here, hold on. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Look at him. He being so evil. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now the Grinch grinned the Grinch. "I will stuff up the tree." And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd gotten out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and then I'll bring it back here. And his foot fooled the child. Then he patted her head and he got her a drink and sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but books and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a corn that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses. They becomes much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still asnooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. The mouse will hang up in a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad, but the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. The end. So that was how the Grinch stole Christmas and then gave it back. So let's just take a minute to think about what's the author, Dr. Seuss, why he wrote this book. Yes, to entertain people, obviously, because it's a good book. But, like, sorry. Like, what is the lesson of the book? What is the moral of the story? Let's just take a minute to think about it. Take a minute, go down into the comment section. Tell me what you think the moral of the story is. Go ahead and think about it. Grinch, remember what he did. Now remember what he did in the end. So think about what he did in the beginning, middle, and end. So yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. What did you comment down below? There's no right answer, but there is a wrong answer. I know it's quite confusing. What I think the moral of the story is, also known as the theme. The theme isn't like with something that's popular, like Just to Impress, not like Blue or like Inside Out. That's not the theme. The theme is not like Christmas. The theme is the moral of the story. What lesson was the author trying to teach? So yeah, like what was the main lesson? Why did the author write this particular book? To to like entertain us, obviously, but it also has a moral of the story. What I think it is one, everybody can change. Also, like, you don't always need like a present or like like a physical object to make you happy. A family is what makes you happy. Being with your friends and family is what makes you happy, not like a Robux gift card. Yes, okay, that might make you happy, but like not as happy as being with your family. So yeah, go, whoever takes care of you, go to them and be like, I love you. And just give them a big old hug. Just say, I love you. Thank you for everything that you do for me. Okay? And next time that you see your family, just taking a moment to appreciate them. So yeah, I hope you liked this book. I have had this book for like I don't know, 6 years since I was like about 4 maybe, and I've always loved this book. Except I keep my books in like really good condition. But yeah, I hope you liked this book and thank you for reading with me. Bye!